guys, so as you can probably tell from the title, or if you did not know, this is my 4th week. It is the Thursday of my 4th week, so I'm other than tomorrow, I'm pretty much done with my first month of school. I am a new kid. I moved from North Carolina to Florida, and this is the first time I've ever been a new kid, and I really was nervous about it. And I was looking up things on the internet and YouTube and stuff, so I thought I would make my own. I meant to do a first day of school vlog, but I didn't get around to that because I forgot, and also I was still finishing some summer assignments and stuff, which I will explain as I get into. I sat down to film this and I was just going to do my first month as a new kid experience, but just the first day alone I had so many things to cover, so I'm kind of sharing some of my own experiences, some things I would do differently, and advice. A lot of the advice is probably obvious, like, you know, I had never been a new kid before, but I had seen new kids come in, I'd looked stuff up, I had figured out what basically I needed to do. But I've also found some things that you might not have known before, that I didn't know before, and that I've learned. So this is going to be just my first day, and like before you get started with school and my first day. And I did start at the beginning of the school year. I know a lot of new kids will start randomly throughout the year, and that's probably a lot even harder, and but a lot of these tips should probably still apply. But just to let you know, I started like the beginning of the school year. Oh, and I'm a junior in high school, so I'm in 11th grade. It's a pretty hard time to switch, so it's not like you're starting high school or you're in elementary school or something. I'm a junior in high school, so it's a hard age to switch, so for those of you in a similar position, I hope this will help you out. So I put some notes on my phone because last time I did not, and I got all off track. So before school starts, my main tips are, like, before school, if you play any kind of sports, I would definitely get involved with sports because sports start before school. They have workouts and tryouts, normally like fall sports at least, before the school starts. If you are athletic and you do play a sport, definitely get involved with that because you already know a few people starting off the school year. I play soccer and tennis, or I did at my old school, and like I said, soccer is a winter sport and tennis is a spring. So I didn't have a fall sport to start out with, and I probably am not going to join those teams because the sports at my new school they are really, really good, and I'm really bad at tennis, and I'm not that good at soccer. So yeah, but if you are athletic, join a sport. And most clubs don't start before school starts, but if you had heard of one, try that. And if you are like religious, try to find like a church or something and maybe go to their youth group. I feel like I'm going to say 1,000 times, and I'm sorry. Assuming because you are starting a new school, unless you're just like switching schools in your local area, but for the most part people are new to schools because they've moved. Like I said, I moved a far distance, so it's really important to try to get as settled as possible. I had about 2 weeks. I moved about 2 weeks before school started, and so just really try to get as unpacked as you can, get as organized as you can, and try to get your room somewhat in shape, because once school starts you're not going to have that much time for it. And I mean, most likely you don't know anybody, and my first 2 weeks I did not meet a single person my age, so I didn't have any friends. So you might as well try to get as unpacked as possible to make your school life just a lot easier. If you have summer reading, like if you're in high school, I'm in AP English 3, and we had a crap load of summer assignments, and I wasn't positive if I would be signing up for the AP or the honors English, and the assignments varied for that. So I didn't really get to start my assignments as early as I could have, or I should have. My last few days of summer, I was working on these summer assignments, and my first day of school, the night before my first day, I got like maybe 5 hours of sleep, and my very first day of school, like that night, I'll talk more about the first day itself, but the night of my first day, I pulled an all-nighter, and I was working on this summer assignment all night long, and I ended up not going the second day of school because I was still working on it, and I didn't feel good. I was completely exhausted, and I was on that verge of becoming really, like, not really sick, but like, you know when you're like, I'm kind of sick, but if I keep treating my body badly, I'm going to get truly sick, I was like that. So my mom agreed for me to stay home because you don't do that much on the second day, and she didn't want me to get really sick and miss like important days later on. But so finish any summer assignments as soon as you can if you have summer assignments, and don't not go on your second day of school, because that wasn't good, not being there on the second day. My last two things to do before school starts is, if you have some kind of orientation, and this is also for freshmen and stuff too, the day before we started school on a Tuesday, August 13th, and so that Monday it was orientation and schedule pickup. So all the upperclassmen, I think, just picked up their schedule and went home, and then it was freshmen walking around. But if you're new, like I was, walk around that school. My old school had about like 1,700 or 1,800 people, so it was a decent sized school, but the school I'm at now has like 2,500, no, I don't know, it has over 2,000 students. And so it's not that many more kids. I mean, it's a lot of kids either way, but the school itself is so spread out. There are so many trailers at my school, and then the building itself is 2 stories, and it's just a really spread out school. And I walked around so much and was dying in the Florida heat to try to find all my classes, and I met my teachers just so they would kind of like go ahead and they would recognize me on the first day and get a good first impression, and try to mention to them, not be like, hi, yeah, I'm in your first block, I just moved here, like, not like that. But if it's appropriate to bring up, maybe bring up that you're new so they can kind of treat you a little better. So that is all. My phone keeps locking, sorry. That's all of my tips before school starts. Now I'm going to go over the actual first day and things that I did and things that I wish I hadn't done and stuff. So, like I said earlier, get a good night's sleep on your first day of school. Do not be doing homework. Try to get, most likely you're going to be really, like in general for first days, I always have trouble falling asleep. But especially the night before starting at a new school, you're going to be, or most likely, at least I was, your mind's going to be racing and you're going to have trouble falling asleep, and you want to be really rested for your first day so you don't have a bunch of under eye circles, and you can get up early and look your best and just get a good night's sleep. Go to bed early, and then go to bed earlier than that. For me personally, I think that for the first day it is best to kind of not like intentionally not talk to anybody, but for the first day of school everyone's like getting caught up to people they haven't seen over the summer. So honestly, I would just kind of go to school, like go through your classes, just try to make it through the day. It's gonna suck. It's not gonna be totally horrible because you're just gonna be sitting there and it's just gonna be teachers telling their rules and their expectations for the class and what the course is gonna be like. It's gonna be boring, so just kind of sit there. But I mean, if you have the confidence to go up to somebody, that's awesome. But I think it's a little bit awkward to, if you see a group of friends, like a group of people standing in the hallway, you just walking up to them and being like, hey, I'm Lauren, I just moved here. That's a little awkward. So I would kind of just, I mean, be friendly. Like if anybody talks to you during the day, even if it's like that person, like you're like, I don't like you, you are so annoying. Try not to have those opinions the first day, but it probably will happen if you're anything like me. Say you find this one person really, really annoying, but they come up to you and start talking to you. Be nice and polite to them, because you never know who they are friends with and who you will become friends with. And also, you might just have a bad first impression of people. So, yes, be nice to anyone, and don't I don't know, I feel like for the first day at least, don't be like overly outgoing. Which is weird, because you would think being at a new school you want to be really outgoing. I don't really know if I'm making much sense, but just kind of go through your day. And also, while you're in your classes, scan the heck out of your classes. I mean, don't like stare at people, but I mean, I would do this in general even when I wasn't new. Look through all your classes, look at people that you could see yourself being potential friends with. I mean, look for hot guys, or if you're a guy, look for hot girls, obviously. I would definitely try to find friends before you found any kind of relationship thing. But, just kind of scan the class for people you could see yourself being friends with. And also scan the class to kind of recognize the faces of people, because in the future, like if you go to a football game or something, which I will talk about football games and things of that sort in the second part of this video, in my first few weeks experience video. Scan the class for potential friends, like I said, and also just kind of recognize the faces that are in your class. You don't necessarily have to know their names, but kind of know who the people are in your classes, so that in the future, if you see them somewhere, you can be like, hey, aren't you in my blah 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 class? And they might not even realize it. They'll be like, wait, what period do you have that? You're in my class? And I don't know, it's just an easier conversation starter, and then you can maybe say something about the teacher, like, oh my gosh, they're so annoying, or I don't know, it just will help you start conversations with people in the future. That's how I've met a lot of people, is just being like, aren't you in my blah 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 class? If I see them in another class or something. So for like dress wise, since I am a beauty fashion channel or whatever, wear something that makes you feel good about yourself. Don't look like you're trying too hard. Give a good first impression. Honestly, I just wore like jeans and like a cute tank top with a cardigan and like some sandals and like earrings. Like I just wore like a casual but cute outfit. I mean, you can wear whatever you want, but try to do something pretty modest. Nothing that is too, like, people would be that judgmental about, because you want to make a good first impression and you don't want people already having like weird ideas about you. Like, I don't know, if you wear something really, really crazy your first day, or something that you don't feel confident in and you feel uncomfortable and you're having to adjust your clothing throughout the day, you're gonna feel a little bit more awkward, and you're already gonna feel awkward on your first day. So yeah, just look your best and put your best self forward, and also with your attitude. Try to be attentive and friendly and nice and happy, even though you're inside, not saying to be like fake, but in general, for the first few weeks as a new kid, you kind of have to fake it a lot. Not be like, I mean, don't be fake, but no one wants to come up to just a mean, grumpy person. You have to kind of smile a lot and just be really kind of seem happy-ish, because that attracts people that people are attracted to. And I don't mean like in a relationship way, I just mean in general, like, if you seem nice and friendly, they're much more likely to approach you. For the first day of school, I'd say get there early, because you'd want to double check that you're not going to get lost. And if you don't have assigned seats in a class, most classes you'll probably have assigned seats in, at least for the first days, it'll be like alphabetical. But if you don't, then you kind of just, if you're there early, you can choose where you want to sit. If you're someone that likes to be right in the front or in the way in the back, I kind of like to sit more in the middle, and then see, that way people will surround you, and that the more people you're around, the more people you have options of talking to in the future. And if you're there early, for the most part, if you sit down in a seat, even if it's not assigned, that kind of becomes your seat all year. Or people will say, okay, the teacher will say, okay, this is your assigned seats. So if you're there early, you'll have more seat options, and double check, make sure you're not lost if you do end up getting lost for your first period. So which is, again, try to make sure you know your way around the school. I feel like this is really, really all over the place and unhelpful. I'm sorry. I think my last tip for like first day and stuff is, if anyone does talk to you, make it known. This is like the key to being new, is to make it known that you're new, and using the new or I just moved here card. That is, I mean, use that for as long as you can. Just like your freshman year of high school, or if you are a freshman, use the freshman card for as long as you can. It is an excuse to, if you're late to class, hey, I'm sorry, I just moved here, I'm still getting to know my way around. And if you do say you're new or you just moved here, people will most likely, like, if you're like, oh, hi, which way is the closest bathroom? I just moved here, I don't really know anything. They will most likely ask you, the most questions I've been getting are, where did you move from? Was your old school as big as this? Or like, what was your old school like? Do you like it here? Those are probably the top three. Like, do you like it? Probably, where are you from, and do you like it here? Or like, do you miss it? Which obviously you're like, no, I hate this place, I want to go home. But kind of prepare responses to that. I tend to be like, I mean, I'd rather be I'm back at home obviously because I don't really have any friends here, but it's different. It's nice. I could see me getting used to it. Bullcrap kind of stuff. And being new has many disadvantages, and as much as it does suck, because it does suck, I'm telling you right now, being new sucks. It has some advantages. You can get out of situations, and saying that you're new is an easy conversation starter, honestly. Because unless the person's just straight up rude and you're like, oh yeah, I just moved here, they're most likely going to ask where you're from. I cannot believe I completely forgot to talk about lunch. Lunch was one of the things I was the most stressed out about before school. As soon as I found out I was moving, I was like, what am I going to do for lunch? My biggest tip is to find a friend before lunch. And I've heard that in so many videos, and I was like, how am I supposed to find a friend? I don't know anybody. I felt so awkward and uncomfortable about it, and I was like, how am I supposed to approach someone and get a friend for lunch? Just try to talk to at least one person before lunch, and again, use that new card. Just, my English class was my class before lunch, and there was a girl that was sitting in front of me that was also new, so I just kind of talked to her a little bit, and then we decided to sit together, and that, I don't know what I would have done if I walked in there by myself, honestly. It was so much better walking in with another person, and it was kind of awkward being with another new person though, because we were both like, where do we sit? So we just sat by some people that we thought looked nice. It ended up kind of not being that good. Your first day of new school lunch is probably gonna suck. It's great to have your phone if you can use your phone. My friends from back home hadn't started school yet, so I was texting them, letting them know about my first day, and I was on Instagram and stuff like that. So if you feel totally uncomfortable, you can just go on your phone. But at least attempt to start a conversation with the people you're sitting with, and most likely, if you meet one person before lunch, that person will go to the school. That didn't happen for me, but most people will, so they will have friends already, and you can sit down with them and get to know their friends. So, but lunch, really try to find a friend, and if you don't, just go up to people that look nice and be like, hey, like literally what I said was like, hey, I'm new here, I don't know anybody, is it okay if I sit down with you? And unless they are total bitches, sorry for swearing, whatever, they will not say no. Even if they're like kind of don't want to, they're gonna say it's fine for you to sit there, because that's really, really rude if they don't. And if they say no, you can't sit there, then most likely you don't want to be their friend anyway. But also try to make sure you're not taking anybody's seat. First day, you're usually, if you start off the first day of school, like for everyone, you can't really take anybody's seat. But if you come like halfway through the year and it's like some little round table with like 8 seats and you see an open seat and you go over there, like it could be someone's seat. So try to get at long tables if your school offers both. My new school only offers long tables, and my old school had both. So I would have made sure to go to a long table because there's lots of seats for people to pile up on. But yes, sorry. Lunch it's gonna be hard your first day, but you can definitely change it. I will talk more about that in my few weeks video. I feel like this was really all over the place, and I'm sorry for that. If there's any more questions on anything that I didn't cover, you feel free to comment below, or if you don't feel comfortable, message me. I will try to get back to you. I mean, there's like a 99% chance that I will respond, and I've been there. It's only my 4th week in school, so I'm still definitely a new kid. I still don't know a lot of people. I'm about to film my first few weeks at school experience and advice, so definitely check that out. It should be uploaded like very quickly after this, because I'm going to film it right now. I'm going to be looking exactly the same. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any other new kid related videos, please leave any requests below and I will try to get to those. Thanks for watching. Bye!